So, how are we doing today? Normal day in N City, huh? Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the Lucas situation. Disclaimer: everything is alleged, of course. However, I personally, after carefully reading the accounts of five or more ex-girlfriends with the same experience, have started to lean more into believing the allegations. As a NCT fan, this might be unpopular, sorry I guess, but this being real doesn't seem unbelievable. People can become assholes, especially if you give a man with a big enough ego the right amount of attention and blind support, as we've seen time and time again. But again, I want to emphasize that this is alleged, and I'm not saying all of this without a doubt happened and nobody that came forward could have in some way fabricated some parts of their story. However, what I am saying is that this is a perfect way to start an important discussion. Whether all this is true or not, it still brings up a good point. What happens when we give awful people a platform? In an industry like K-pop, where half your success depends on your likability, it's easy to believe everybody is an angel with perfect manners. But what if they aren't? Isn't it important that we don't let go of that critical lens, even with people who portray themselves as good people? Let's talk. To say I'm surprised about this would be a lie. I'm not surprised. I can't explain it. At this point, I have become numb to this kind of news. Maybe it's the fact that in my almost 8 years of being a K-pop stan and joining a variety of fandoms, I learned that it's fairly easy to construct a favorable image of yourself with the help of your company. I mean, you have to. Who wants to publicly support an asshole? Well, of course some people do, but that's a topic for another day. Majority of people have a moral compass and know that supporting someone who objectively does not deserve the platform they've been giving is counterproductive, even dangerous at times. Nothing that was alleged against Lucas here is inherently illegal or considered a crime. Cheating and lying is not something you can get indicted for. However, it does expose your true intentions. Did you join the industry to become a respected artist/entertainer? Do you practice day in and out to prove yourself to your fans, who consistently praise and voice their love for you for doing the barest of the bare minimum? Or do you do all of this to remain relevant so you can collect your coins and take advantage of as many unsuspecting women as possible? Allegedly. Lucas stans, stay with me. You need to hear this. Of course, as fans of anybody not just in the K-pop community, we expect and believe that our faves are inherently good people at heart, and any mishap and controversy is nothing more than a mistake they will undoubtedly learn and grow from. Because we would never support bad people, right? We have good judgment. Nobody we support can do the wrong thing. We've seen them interact with each other. They are sweet. We've seen what they say and write to their fans on camera and social media. They are as grateful as one can be. And that's where the problem lies. We don't know them like that. We simply don't. Never blindly support. Never get rid of that critical lens. This is the most important thing we can have as a fan of celebrities. Always question their motives. It doesn't even have to be malicious. You can still be a fan and support someone's work while being critical at times. It shows you have good judgment. Having said all that, let's actually talk about Lucas specifically. Again, all of this is alleged. Yes, we know. 5 people all could have lied. They could have made up something for funsies. We know. But what if it's true? Is it really that unthinkable that a man with good looks and power would act like this? Like this doesn't happen all the time? Why would his situation be any different? And I know, people sometimes make up things to take celebrities down, because sometimes you just want to see successful people fail. But it can also be 100% true. It can be 50% true. It can be 20% true. No matter whose side you're on or if you're staying neutral for the sake of respecting both sides, I think it's crucial we talk about it. So far we have 5 ex-girlfriends claiming they've had to deal with Lucas's cheating, lying and gaslighting antics. To make it easier for your brain to comprehend, let me explain to you in the quickest way possible who said what. For the entire story I have links in the description. Korean netizen A claims Lucas manipulated and leached money off of her. She was told by Lucas that she was the only one he was seeing before realizing there were more women coming forward with a very similar experience. Chinese netizens B and C came forward shortly after, claiming Lucas did the same thing to them. Asking for expensive gifts, sleeping with them and promising them that they are the only one he talks to. Essentially making them think they're special. Netizen D claims Lucas bought her a kitten, but after rejecting his gift he abandoned it, and now apparently Winwin is taking care of it. It's confusing to say the least. Netizen F was his surfing coach, and both Netizen D and F got the same pictures and messages sent. So he was talking to them at the same time, while pretending to be their boyfriend. Basically all of them were told they were his only girlfriend, and it turns out he was lying to all of them, allegedly. A cheater and a liar, allegedly. A fuckboy if you will. Allegedly. Now, if all of this is true, if he really did take advantage of his position to sleep with women, then he's an asshole and I don't want him to be in NCT. I refuse to prop up a man with an inflated ego. Another thing that absolutely needs to be said, remember that not everyone deserves the platform they are given. Sometimes it's blind support for the sake of the group. We all got introduced to Lucas through the other members we were already familiar with. Obviously we're going to welcome him with open arms and make his integration into the NCT group as easy and comfortable as possible. Because we believe in the good in people. But if they fuck up, guess what? That's it. You had your chance. Try again next time. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. K-pop fans are extremely supportive, at times unfortunately so. Because when the wrong person receives that unconditional support, it can turn them into the worst versions of themselves. Because just imagine being in your early 20s, being hot. Let's be real, he is hot, and that's what, allegedly, gave him the confidence to be a dick in the first place, allegedly, and being surrounded by women, just a sea of women loving you, thinking you can do no wrong, defending you at all times. Imagine being in that situation, and then pair that with immaturity and an inflated ego. It's a disaster. Absolutely a disaster that needs to be stopped immediately. And I know it's early to say what I'm about to say, somewhat defamatory, I will acknowledge that, but do you know what stands between Lucas being a serial cheater and liar, and Chris Wu sexually assaulting women? Time. Truly it is time. Give this man the same treatment for more than 4 years and he will get away with it time and time again, and before you know it he thinks he's untouchable and women are nothing more than their bodies he is entitled to. It might seem like a stretch right now, but I'd rather call behavior like this out before it's too late to interfere. Public shaming will do him good, if it does turn out to be true, of course. I actually started off thinking this was just some anti-starting drama to mess with their comebacks. It's not unusual, as we all know. This happens a lot. But reading more into it, finding out there's a total of 5 women as of now, with an almost identical experience, it's hard to ignore. I'm still confused about some parts of the story since fans claim certain photos and voice messages were fabricated. Again, some parts could very well be made up to make people believe them more. Some comments I read were criticizing the women for bringing up random details, like Lucas claiming he fought gangs in Hong Kong and almost got recruited. Like, yeah, it might sound irrelevant, but wouldn't you also include as many random details as you can remember, to prove to people that you did in fact have a close relationship with that person? I think it's a sign of desperation. When I want someone to believe something happened to me, I will include as much detail as possible. I don't know, just a thought. Okay, now that I got this off my chest, please let me know your thoughts. I know that some of you will not like me talking about a NCT member in this way, I get that, but I still think it's important. I could also just ignore it and wait for everyone to forget this alleged thing happened, but it wouldn't sit right with me. Turning this into a productive discussion is the best way to go about it. We have to come to terms with the fact that these are at the end of the day just some guys. Some guys with a platform and countless people supporting them. What you do with that platform matters. So I guess all this to say, stay critical of your faves.